Another year and another Call of Duty game. Treyarch are back at the helm of the franchise again this year, and their Black Ops 3 game takes the series even further into the future. More nanobots, more technology, and tons more customization and unlockables. Is that enough to make the game worth a purchase? Find out in my review. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 continues the zany, futuristic hijinks of the Black Ops franchise. Treyarch take us further into the future and further into a world controlled by technology. The entire game is tied to these futuristic, Terminator-ish themes, in which for the most part they create a fun and interesting atmosphere. I've always enjoyed Treyarch's genuine push for the series. They always seem to be reaching for new heights and trying to give us, the gamer, more. They're often regarded as the second-rate developer of the franchise because Infinity Ward is the golden child, having created Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, and so on and so on. I always feel that Infinity Ward got lazy after the first two Modern Warfare games, and they've kind of been resting on their laurels, whereas Treyarch has always stayed hungry. They always seem to be pushing the series forward, and they always try to be giving the gamer more. I've always preferred Treyarch for this reason over the fan-favorite Infinity Ward. So, giving the gamer more is exactly what Treyarch have done this year, and Black Ops 3 is ridiculously packed full of goodies. In an industry that's hell-bent on delivering multiplayer-only games, I'm looking at you, Titanfall, Evolve, these games ignore any narrative whatsoever, they only do multiplayer. It's so nice to see a company still busting their ass on trying to give the player a good single-player story and some content. Black Ops 3 includes an 8-hour campaign. It can also be played co-op with up to 4 players online and 2 players locally via split screen. This is fantastic that they've actually included this in because the co-op campaign hasn't been something that's been present in the Call of Duty series since World at War, way back in like 2007, 2008 perhaps. So it's really nice to see Treyarch add this in and put in this co-op campaign. Whereas other game developers like 343 Industries, who just released Halo 5, they've pulled all co-op and split-screen stuff from Halo entirely. So, the couch co-op aspects of Halo completely removed and negated from the series this year. So while other companies are slimming down, trimming the fat, trying to deliver just as much product as they possibly can just for the money, Treyarch do the opposite. They pack the game full of tons of stuff, and yes, when it's packed full of tons of stuff, that could mean there's some extra fat. So aside from having the campaign, they also have the ever-popular Zombies mode that made its appearance in World at War. It's got tons of upgrades. They've got a new mode called Nightmares. Nightmares is a mode that allows players to play through select levels of the main campaign, but there's like a side narrative that's focused on a zombie apocalypse. And of course, aside from those offerings, the hugely robust and world-famous Call of Duty multiplayer suite also makes a return, and so does the Pick 10 loadout system from other Treyarch games. So, the campaign is a generic futuristic shooter. The story isn't that fantastic, at least it's there, but it's really not that good. The best part about the campaign is all the customization and all the options that have been brought over from the multiplayer suite into the single-player and co-op campaign. One of the coolest things is the new safe house system. It allows you to create loadouts, customize weapons, and customize your character before every level. There's also collectibles that you can pick up in the missions and bring those into the safe house to display. There's training missions. There's tons of stuff in there. So the safe house is definitely my favorite and I think the best piece of the campaign. I've done another safe house video on the website here, so if you're interested in seeing more on that, check out the safe house tour. The lows of the campaign include a generic convoluted story, and it's kind of all over the place, and it's not really that memorable. It's kind of just a mishmash of bro action. The acting is rough in spots, and the main dude in the campaign is horrible. He heavily overacts. He just shouts continuously. He's always freaking out and getting mad for no reason whatsoever. It almost gets to unbearable levels. Overall, the campaign is average based on this acting and the story. It's not as awesome as the Modern Warfare campaign, not as awesome as like the Battlefield Bad Company 2 campaign, which was hilarious and fantastic. But on the other side of the coin, it's not as terribly shitty as the Battlefield 3 and 4 campaigns either, where there's almost no story and it's just a ridiculous monster closet throughout the whole game. So the multiplayer suite, it returns, and it's filled with more customization options and gameplay choices than ever. Parties are easy to get in and out of. There's a huge customization system where you can create your own emblems, paint jobs for guns. There's a sharing area to showcase all of these things with friends. Currently, they're working on trying to make these things downloadable so you can actually like give them to each other. But for right now, it's kind of just working as like a preview or showcase mode. So the perk 10 system is back, and it allows players to mix and match their loadouts with the favorite combinations of perks, attachments, guns, whatever adds up to 10, doesn't matter. You can take whatever you want. So new to the multiplayer this year is a new addition called the Specialists. The Specialists are essentially 10 different classes that you can choose. You can choose one for each match. So basically, each Specialist is a character with their own look, their own backstory, their own customization options, and special weapon or special ability attack. The special ability attack charges up over time, and it can be unleashed once before it has to charge up again. Each Specialist has their own special ability or attack, and they're very, very varied from one to another. One of them is like a gravity spikes, where you slam spikes into the ground and it's a melee-based attack. It creates a huge shockwave and kills all the enemies in the path. Other ones are more sniper-specific, like a Sparrow class that gets a bow and arrow. It can shoot bows into people. There's another class called a Tempest. He's currently my favorite. You can shoot a lightning gun, kind of like the gun that the big bald guy from Evolve uses. So the Specialists are pretty cool. You can customize their look and abilities as well, which is pretty cool. So the other piece of the game, of course, is the Zombies mode. Zombies mode is really good, and it's quite expanded on compared to the other Zombies modes in the other Treyarch games. It features a band of 4 unlikable criminals, and they find themselves in the zombie apocalypse in the 1940s. They're in this fictitious kind of film noir city called Morgue City, and it's the backdrop where the 4 characters, the magician, the boxer, the actress, and the cop, they all hang out and fend off hordes of the undead. It's a huge area to play in. It's got tons of unlocks. The monsters and the new beast mode that you can turn into has tons of like Lovecraftian overtones and content, and there's a mega customization system. It makes it the best Zombies yet. So it now also features its own persistent leveling system, complete with gun unlocks, upgrades, new perks, and all sorts of stuff for Zombies. Even a new customization system made just for Zombies called Gobblegum. Gobblegum are gumballs that randomly roll out of the various gumball machines throughout the Zombies areas. You can then unlock and customize Gobblegum loadouts and choose different perks and loadouts like you would in regular multiplayer. So playing through those levels and having the Gobblegum in there as well, it's another huge piece. So Zombies, bigger, better than ever. And that brings us to the last piece of the Black Ops 3 suite is Nightmares. Nightmares, as I said before, is that mode where you can play through the campaign with a new narrative, and the majority of the enemies have been replaced by zombies. So it's essentially a story-driven Zombies campaign that I know a lot of the Call of Duty fans have been asking for years. So that rounds out the pretty robust suite of options and gameplay. That's all the positive stuff about the game, is that there's just so much content, so many things to do, so many customization options that keep players coming back time and time again. It's just so nice that they packed in all this content. Some of my gripes with the game are gripes, within the multiplayer story about, the single player story about it not being that great. It could have been improved, could have had a more interesting story, more personal with the characters. The multiplayer suite tends to be a bit frustrating at times because I don't believe there's any sort of skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty whatsoever, especially not in this game. And so you're constantly getting thrown into matches with guys that are like 10th prestige and they know the map off by heart and just annihilate you, or guys that camp and go like 30-1. I hate playing matches with those kind of guys, and I know that the skill-based matchmaking system isn't there as it favors localization for connection instead. Honestly, I would prefer skill over connection any day of the week. I'd rather be put in a match with people that are along the same sucky skill level as me, so I don't get destroyed and go like 1 kill and 20 deaths, because that isn't fun. So I hope that Call of Duty brings in some sort of skill-based matchmaking system in the future, just like Halo has, because it works really well. So that's pretty much the only negatives I have with the game, are those few gripes. Occasionally the party system glitches out and kicks friends out, or you can't connect with them and invite them in, but overall it's a pretty good experience. I'd say it's probably one of the best values in gaming right now for your dollar, and if I had to give it, out of 5 splats, I'd probably give it at least 4 splats out of 5. The only miss being kind of because of the mediocre campaign and the shitty matchmaking system in multiplayer that pisses me off. But overall, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, totally recommend it. I think it's a fantastic game, and I look forward to seeing what Treyarch does with the franchise going forward. And that's it for my review. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If not, give her a thumbs down, put a comment below and let me know what you thought. And thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.